Hello everyone, welcome back to Terraria, the Zenith Seed All Achievements. Now, I know it has been a hot minute since I've actually recorded this, but I did end up recording about 4.5 hours of gameplay last night, and apparently none of the footage was usable, which is incredibly unfortunate, considering the amount of progress that we made. I have the Eye of Cthulhu shield on us, meaning that we have defeated the Eye of Cthulhu. We also ended up managing to find the last accessory that we need to make the Frost Spark boots, which is insane. This is all before we even fight our second boss. We've also expanded the base a little, found more NPCs. We started to set up a pylon network as well as a trophy room. The pylon network goes over into a little jungle base we have set up because this is going to be important for hard mode later. We have some natural growth farms over here in order to find life fruits as well as jungle spores and other things that we might possibly need. This giant hole right here will allow us to set up for fishing, as we did find the angler at some point last session, and we will need to complete a lot of his daily quests in order to get all achievements. I should note we also do have quite a bit of upgraded gear. We have the sharp blade of grass and the key brand on us. We still have the key brand. We're actually kind of in the middle of testing whether or not we keep the key brand on us or we utilize the sharp blade of grass. We ended up getting the mini shark, which hard carried us through another goblin invasion and our first blood moon, which was super unfortunate that, again, we don't have the footage for. We also ended up getting a thorn chakram, probably one of my favorite pre-hard mode boomerangs. And we also ended up getting a lot of pad thai from the traveling merchant. This will hopefully keep us from dying of hunger. And we also ended up getting the snap thorn. So a lot of upgrades brought to us by the underground jungle, which is phenomenal. I actually managed to make it to the surface for the first time. We actually ended up making it over to the far right side of the world. Surprisingly enough, on the far right side of the world, there was also actually the jungle temple, and that saves us a lot of time for the future. Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. If you go ahead and look at our map, see that we have traversed the entire right side of the world. All of it is crimson. There can be some pretty big surface corruption mods, and they scale their damage. So one of the biggest ones I've had hit me for about 260 damage, which is more than half our health at the full pre-hard mode 400 HP. It looks like the right side of the world is crimson and the left side of the world is corruption, which is very interesting, to say the least. It means that we have the potential to fight both Eater of Worlds and Brain of Cthulhu, which is something that I'm going to want to try and do. So we actually are kind of on this island in the middle of the underworld. And if you continue past a pretty big lava lake on either side, you will get to a legitimate underworld with the shadow chests, voodoo demons, hellstone, and even the underworld structures that we're also used to seeing. Ideally, we get to locate the dungeon sometime soon, as that does have some pretty good loot in it as well. I'm just going to go ahead and summon the Eye of Cthulhu. Oh, but it's 7 a.m. How can you summon the Eye of Cthulhu? Well, this world is perpetually in night, which is kind of crazy. I ended up defeating the Eye of Cthulhu with the Ice Bow, which was the true MVP. But this time, I'm going to go ahead and just summon it, run the same kind of pathing that I did for it, and just kind of give an example of what it would look like. But I'm going to use the mini shark, so it's going to be a little faster. And get our mini shark. Obviously, our maneuverability is phenomenal right now because we have our Eye of Cthulhu, we have our Frost Spark boots, and so we're able to run around and kind of evade appropriately in ways that we really need to in order to survive. Now, the one thing that I wish we had is an obsidian shield or a cobalt shield. Obsidian shield is almost a free upgrade because at this point we already have an obsidian skull, but an obsidian shield would really prevent us from taking any kind of knockback, which is really useful. Got to ensure that we're keeping up our speed. I'm gonna go the other way. The hardest part about this fight was dodging all of like the smaller mobs, like the eyes and maybe the lava slimes that spawn while you're doing this. Okay. And there we go. As you can see, there are a lot of eyes, like smaller Eye of Cthulhu's or Servant of Cthulhu's. They can be a bit of a pain if you're not prepared for them. Having a melee weapon like the Key Brand definitely helped us clear them all out, but ensuring that you have some kind of grappling hook so that you can latch onto the ceiling or very quickly get your speed back up by latching it onto the ground is actually pretty helpful here. What we're going to do for preparation into hardened mode is we're going to go ahead and set up a couple more bases. Ideally, we go ahead and set up a base over in this grassy area, probably one in the icy area. Some of the achievements we need to try and complete are most likely going to be significantly harder than normal. According to the patch notes of this World Seed, the Steampunker does not sell the Clemtaminator, which is utilized to get rid of the corruption, the crimson, the hallow. It's used to get rid of every single hostile biome. And considering that we don't have that, we might need to physically mine out the blocks ourselves in order to get the achievement of reaching 0% corruption, crimson, etc. We did get a few achievements during our most recent recording session that did not record properly. We got Bloodbath, which is survive a blood moon. We got the Bulldozer, destroy a total of 10,000 tiles while we were in the middle of increasing the size of our base. We got Lucky Break, which happened while we were exploring the jungle biome. We obtained the Mini Shark, and that was about it. We are looking at a couple of achievements that actually might not be possible, kind of answering the question of can you get every single achievement on Terraria's Hardest Seed. Heliophobia. Tricking a gnome into turning into stone requires sunlight in order to do that, and this world doesn't have a daytime cycle. So we're going to have to see what we can do to maybe introduce some alternative elements into the game to trick a gnome into turning into stone, as well as happiness. Happiness is not something that is enabled on this world. Another achievement that we won't be able to get. I think we're starting to put together a list of what is and is not possible on the Hardest Seed simply because of what is and is not enabled. So right now we do not have daytime enabled. We do not have happiness enabled. And good riddance might be very difficult. I don't think it will be impossible. It will take an absurdly long time though. What is considered a biome in this world is very different. So we are very clearly in the jungle biome, yes? Well, if we move a little over to the right, we see seagulls, which actually only spawn in the ocean biome. There's something about the environment over here that indicates that we are currently somewhere near an ocean biome, which is how I found the angler. I'm not sure how that works. It's not... It kind of forces me to think about what could possibly be considered a biome in this world. But we have no way of telling because the entire background is covered in mud. The background is usually the easiest way to tell where you are and what kind of biome you're in. Let's try this again. Hit this from here. We're going to need as many heart lanterns as possible for all of our arenas. Okay, cool. It was not a boulder. Probably one of the bigger upgrades that we ended up getting was that we ended up getting the Ivy Whip. Arguably the best grappling hook that we could possibly get. Is this a boulder? That is a boulder. Blood moon is rising. Oh, another blood moon. Lovely. Oh my god, I knew it. I was just thinking to myself, this is probably trapped. We're gonna have to get to organizing this later. As for classes, I still don't think I've really decided if we're going to be a pure class, if anything. Right now, I'm just kind of doing whatever will allow me to be the most flexible. So I'm using a little bit of everything. The armor that I have is not really sufficient for a lot of these bosses. Or even a lot of these world enemies that we're going to be running into. So we've really got to find some better armor. Not gonna lie, I'm like kind of afraid of jellyfish in this game because they've got a deceptively large range on their attacks. We kind of spent a lot of our money buying pad thai, so we're gonna need more if we want to reforge. And that's the golden slime down. Let's see how much money we got from all that. Wow, we got 1 platinum. I think one of the things I did not introduce yet is that we actually got an axe upgrade. The Staff of Regrowth, combined with the Copper Axe, can go into the Axe of Regrowth, which is really cool, especially for an early game item, where it has 150 axe power, which is pretty dang good because the Copper Axe only has 35 axe power. It can create grass on dirt, increase alchemy plant collection when used to gather, which is great for potions, and it plants acorns when cutting down trees, replanting trees. This might explode. Okay, it didn't explode. Oop. Oh no! Alright, well, good thing we deposited all of our money. I'm gonna go ahead and just do some quick reorganization. Oh my god, I just trashed all my potions. No! I held the wrong quick button! Okay, so organization done. The Great Potion Massacre of 2023 has occurred. And we have illegal gun parts, so I'm going to go ahead and buy those. And also restock on musket balls because we've gone through half of our stock already. So we're going to go ahead and fight the Eye of Cthulhu a couple more times, just get the resources off of it, sell some things, etc. Well, good to know that the NPCs are fighting back. Oh, looks like we ran a marathon. We managed to actually travel the distance necessary to get the achievement. Nice. Goblin army has been defeated. Let's get all the loot. So we got a Warding Shield of Cthulhu. That is perfect. I think right now what I want to try and do is I want to get to the top of the world. I want to travel as far left as possible and see if we can find the dungeon. Okay, so it looks like there's a bit of a crimson biome right there. We might be able to set up some kind of arena to fight Brain of Cthulhu. Ideally, I would like to make some kind of like summoner loadout so that when it comes to building arenas, it will be a little easier and I could focus more on building as opposed to defending myself from the very strong mobs that we find in the world. The fact that everything is dark is definitely not making it any easier to traverse this. Oh, we found the desert. Oh, right, the cactus hurt us. I forgot. We found the dungeon. No, this is a pyramid. Oh my. Oh, that's really unfortunate. Okay, we might have to go back to that pyramid when we're not getting chased by a dozen mobs. Ow! Didn't recall in time. Oh no. That's not good. Oh no! Man, they managed to get our... They predicted our pathing pretty well. That's not good. Oh no. Ourselves a jungle set. And there we go. A bit of terraforming for you, if you will. We have a lot of ashwood. With this, we should be more than capable of setting up an arena. We're just going to go ahead and create a few things before we do. We're going to go ahead and create a couple fireplaces. We're going to go ahead and create a couple heart lanterns as well. And we'll go ahead and kind of make an arena in this crimson. And if it overlaps with the corruption, we could utilize it for the Eater of Worlds as well. Start placing torches just all over the place. Ah, dang. And we are already fighting for our lives, huh? Oh, come on. Nah. So we do... I didn't even get to the arena. What I'm going to do once we get up there is I'm going to start blocking off the other ways in to ensure that mobs won't completely mess me up as I'm trying to, you know, continue building out the arena. So we have managed to block off one of the entrances. That's a second one completely blocked. Here we go. Oh no. Ah! I'm confused. Wow, that did not go very well. May need to rethink our strategy. This has got to be one of the biggest hives I've ever seen. Oh my god. This is absolutely massive. Alright, so we have our platforms in place, we have our lanterns, we have our fireplace, we have our banner for hornets. So let's see if we can go ahead and find the queen bee spawner. Alright. No! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. A beamination. How many of these can we make? 10. How many hornets are there? Oh my lord, at this rate we'll never be able to fight the queen bee. Buffing up. Here we go. The bees are knocking me around too much. The smaller bees are definitely the biggest concern here. Two seconds to heal. Well, that was unfortunate. Frequent flyer. So, with that, we got another achievement. I believe that is spend a full gold healing from the nurse. So I decided to take a break from all that and try and fill up these fishing holes at our various bases. I ended up going all the way to the left of the world and not finding the bottom of the dungeon, so it seems like we might have to do a little more searching on either side. Alright, we've gone ahead up and set up our second base. Apparently this counts as an ocean pylon and a forest pylon. So does everything count as the ocean here? We've mostly cleared it out. Let's go ahead and give it a try. This. Oh my god. Maybe I really should just kind of block off that area to ensure that the hornets can't take pot shots at me while I'm in the middle of fighting. It's all cleared out. The hornets to the right aren't going to be able to get us. Let's throw down. Alright, we're doing pretty good. It's just taking a little while. No! We seem to be doing pretty well. Give it another try because I think we can get this. Buff up. Let's do this. I feel like I'm getting really close, but sometimes just, it's a little weird. This is just one of those weird moments where it feels like I can't really make any progress. I can't get past Queen Bee. Well, he deals quite a bit of damage when he does touch you, but we did manage to get it done. Wait, who's this? Sigvard? Sure, I'll pet you. I wonder how many other slimes you could possibly get. So we managed to beat King Slime. It's something. It's a win. I'll take that. What can I possibly do? We might try and progress a little, and then go back and fight some bosses. Okay, buff up, here we go. Did any of them die? Let's craft some Jester arrows. And let's see if this works. Buff up. Summon time. This is not working, because it's turning them all into ice arrows. I am silly, and I am dead. We're gonna give this another go. Hopefully, we actually get something out of it. Oh, bro, you've got to be kidding me. I'm confused. I was dead before we even started. I immediately got confused. We'll see if it works. Hopefully it does. Remember, we don't need to win as long as it's enough for a singular pickaxe. We can progress. Do they draw? Yes, okay, it did work. It worked. And I don't believe we need that many to really make a bunch of the stuff that we're looking to make. So we got 11 tissue samples, and we only need 6 for the Deathbringer pickaxe. The next time that we come back, we can actually start getting some Hellstone armor, which seems to be almost a necessity at this point. We got King Slime under our belt, we got more accessories, etc. We explored more of the world, set up more of the bases, and yet it still doesn't feel like as much as I would have liked to have progressed at this point. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I hope to see you in the next one.